Without language of maths, there's no beauty in conveying things. We have a third important book, that is Vidhyaashram study material. This is a package which includes all the problems of NCERT, all the problems of exemplar, plus it also includes applicative problems which enhances your skills. So many situations we have to arrange. For that we'll use permutations. In sets and functions we'll study 3 chapters. Every basic for second year is hidden here. Welcome to the session, dear students. My name is Praveen Kumar GY. I am your maths faculty. Here onwards, I'll be handling your first year PUC mathematics. Before I start up the subject, let me tell few important things. So as there is a great saying, the beauty of nature is written in the language of mathematics. This is a great quote by Galileo. So the great personality Galileo gave this quotation, that is, the beauty of nature is written in the language of mathematics. Yes, true. Without mathematics, conveying and convincing is very difficult. If I want to understand something, if I want to convey something, yes, it is maths. So let me talk about myself, how I got inspired with maths. Yes. When the race started, when I was in school, I was in a small school where 42 was the strength. I was the 40th person or sometimes 42nd person in terms of score in math. So people used to tell me, you are zero in math. Then I started working on it. It was really inspiring for me. When they called me zero, then I started studying about zero. And then I studied about greatest mathematician, that is Aryabhatta, who invented zero. Yes. And then I started understanding, I was in my last place. So when they give marks, when they distribute marks, my maths marks are the least marks. Then I started working on it. So in 40, I'm in 42nd place. Oh, 42nd is also a number. They are telling me where I am weak with my weakness, that is number. Means when you say I'm in zero in position, the conclusion is simple. I told you, definitely. There's a statement made by a friend, you are zero in math. Then I started thinking, what is the zero? Then zero appeared to me as a hero. I told you, Aryabhatta, when he invented zero, people laughed at him. But then I started working on it. Then I started thinking about it. We cannot say, or we cannot write 100 without this zero. This is 100. Think, if I don't write zero, just it will come 1. If I want to speak about 1000, without zeros, it is 1. If I want to talk about a millionaire, 1 million is also made up of zeros. So, zero is hero for me. That day I started interest towards this mathematics. Then I started working problems. After working problems, what I found is happiness. As I started understanding the problem and working many more problems, then I started teaching the problems to my friends. That inspired me to make a person understand the language, the best language is maths. So I told you, in the world, if I want to convey anything, you can convey it without maths. But if you convey it without maths, the convincing, the gist of what you want to say will not be the same. If you convey the statement with maths, it will be beautiful. I told you, date of birth is a number. It's very, very special for every personality. And anniversary is a number. It's a date. Date is made up of numbers. And your percentage of 10th standard is a number. So if you want to enter into any college, first they'll ask percentage. And you will also be eager to see your numbers. How much I scored in maths, how much I scored in social studies. Wow, in social studies I scored 90. In maths I scored 60. But again, my social studies I am reading with number 90. Number 90 is making me happy. Conclusion is simple. Without language of maths, there's no beauty in conveying things. Understanding maths, learning maths makes you very, very, very happy. That's what I can say. As I told, when I started my profession, I started learning maths as 0 in maths. And the days ahead, my interest towards math became 100%, means 100 on 100. Later, so now my world is 100% maths, what I want to say. My dear students, today you are in first year PUC. This is the foundation maths. 11th and 12th maths are first year and second PUC maths. If you are thorough, according to me, you can understand anything when you go for technical courses. Maybe your electricals, electronics, everything is built up with the maths as the backbone. So now coming to the subject. Today I am here to give introduction towards the subject, that is mathematics. Yes. So topics for the session. In today's class, we are discussing scope of the syllabus, and then textbooks for reference, division of syllabus, and syllabus and weightage question paper pattern. I am here to explain all these things. In today's session, exactly we are discussing 5 important concepts. The first is scope of the syllabus. I know. So first they'll ask, what is the scope of the syllabus? What is the use of studying first PUC mathematics? Second thing, what to study, which book to refer, textbook for reference. And third thing, division of syllabus. Syllabus contains what units, how it is divided. Then weightage, for which chapter, how many hours of teaching is required, how many marks is allotted according to PU board, and question paper pattern. So these are the topics for today's session. Scope of syllabus. If you ask me what is the scope of the syllabus, yes, this is a great scope for first PUC maths. I can say this is the first foundation stone in your life. You know how much importance is there for foundation. Foundation is most important to construct any building. The strength of the building depends on the strength of the foundation. Similarly, the first PUC syllabus is having so much of strength. It's a real tool that makes you understand second PUC and 12th. And first and second PUC, if you are thorough, then going ahead, all other technical courses you can understand better. That's what I can say. If you ask me how it is linked, and here, next, whatever you are going to study in technical courses, derivations of physics, derivations of electricals, derivations of electronics are by calculus. So, subject calculus makes you, or subject calculus is the real tool which will help you to derive the equations. Maybe dynamic equations, maybe electrostatic, electric, current, electricity, all those derivations you can derive with the tool called calculus. And calculus is a great mathematics tool which you are learning now. So in 11th you will be studying limits and derivatives. So limits and derivatives, if you are thorough with limits and derivatives, then you can understand differentiability in 12th. Once you are thorough with differentiability, then you can do integral calculus. And the calculus as a whole package will be a great tool which will simplify many situations in your physics, in your mechanics, in your electricals, in your electronics, in many technical subjects. So this is a great tool that we are using. The world has changed dynamics after the calculus and other approaches. Is calculus is the only tool? No. You are learning three-dimensional geometry. So in 11th you are studying introduction to three-dimensional geometry, which will help you to analyze so many vector forms, and 3D is the backbone for vector, to understand vector, and many solids to explain, to understand the geometry of solid. You need the support of three-dimensional geometry that is there in first year PUC. Now I told you scope of the syllabus is vast. Once you are thorough with the syllabus of first year PUC, that will definitely become a tool for understanding second year and future science and technical subjects. And I told you calculus. I told you if it is chemistry, in chemistry also concentration, rate of decrease of concentration, we measure in terms of calculus, that is derivatives, that we are studying in 11th. Other than this, keeping aside, we'll have some more interesting concepts called set theory. Set means collection of well-defined objects. So understanding set theory will help you to understand many theorems in future. Set theory, relations, functions, all those things. So I told you scope of the syllabus is vast. I also told you this is the only subject which will become backbone to understand your physics and technical subjects in future. And definitely you can go ahead only with maths. Those who love only maths, yes, there's a wide scope. If you're good in 11th and 12th maths, you'll have many exams in future which will help you to do only math, like the course called BMath, Bachelor in Mathematics. So all of you know about ISI. So in India we have only 2 ISI centers, that is Indian Statistical Institute, which will offer a course called BMath by conducting an entrance. Once you are thorough with this syllabus, then you can go ahead joining a course called Bachelor in Mathematics, and then you can do MMath, and definitely there will be wide scope and wide opportunities. Those who graduate in Indian Statistical Institute with a degree called Master in Mathematics will have a bright future, and the knowledge what they gain there is immense, and it is having broad scope. So many people, those who studied in ISI are working even in World Bank. That's what is the standards of ISI. And all those things, the basic is in your first year PUC mathematics. Once you are thorough with the first year PUC mathematics, then you'll get the required tools for second year. Once you are thorough with first year and second year syllabus, that will become the basic for many entrance exams. Just now I told you, and not only for engineering entrance exams, we'll have so many courses like this, and you are aware of so many entrance exams. For all the entrance exams, the basic board portions are very much required. I am repeating, the first year PUC mathematics syllabus is having wide scope. To understand not only maths in future, to understand technical subjects, you need the maths of 11th and 12th. That's why this is the first step, that is 11th. Once you are thorough with this first step, definitely understanding second year will become easier. Now, textbook for reference. Yes. So now, which books you have to refer? The very first book what you want to refer is NCERT textbook given by PU board. Mathematics textbook for class 11. This is a prescribed book by PU board. And if you are thorough with all the problems, that is more than sufficient for board exam. And same NCERT is providing one more interesting book called Exemplar. So Exemplar is also a good book which helps you to analyze objectives. So this is for board exam, that is NCERT mathematics, and Exemplar is for entrance exams. So like engineering entrance exam, or if you want to write other entrance exam, this book is a good book of reference. And we have the third important book, that is Vidhyaashram study material. This is a package which includes all the problems of NCERT, all the problems of Exemplar, plus it also includes applicative problems which enhances your skills. So always I say the same, cycling, swimming and mathematics comes only by practice. More you practice, and nobody can learn swimming by reading a book. So you have to jump into the pool, you have to balance your body, you have to practice, then you will get swimming. Similarly, cycling also, by reading a book, what is a brake, what is pedal, you can't learn cycling. Cycling means, yes, you have to take the cycle and ride the cycle. As many times you ride, you will get the grip. So learning maths is similar to cycling, swimming. I always say this, cycling, swimming and maths comes only by practice. To practice, you need good number of problems. So wide variety of problems, applicative problems, which includes NCERT problems, exemplars, along with many other problems are included in this. Once you are thorough with the Vidhyaashram study material, according to me, that will be more than sufficient to crack your board exam and also to enhance your skills, which is very much required. I told you, when I am talking about the scope of the subject, I told you this is the subject which will be a backbone for your future technical subjects. When it is backbone, your backbone should be strong. To make your backbone strong, definitely you have to follow this, the only book, that is mathematics study material provided by Vidhyaashram. So for board exam, NCERT book is sufficient. For entrance, these two. For entrance, board exam, and to gain good knowledge, the best book is what? Vidhyaashram study material. These are the books for reference. Going ahead, okay, now we'll discuss division of syllabus. So your first PUC board syllabus mathematics is divided into 6 units. How many units? 6 units. All 6 units are equally important. The very first unit is sets and functions. In sets and functions, you will study 3 chapters: sets, relations, trigonometric functions. So in sets and functions, you will study 3 chapters: sets, relations and functions, and trigonometric functions. Understanding sets helps you to understand number system, and which will apply in relations in 12th. And functions, special functions we are studying in first PUC, like signum function, greatest integer function, that will help you to understand differentiability in 12th. And trigonometric functions, most important. Without the knowledge of trigonometric functions, you cannot understand inverse trigonometric functions in second PUC. So what I want to say is, this is all 3 are equally important. As I told, 6 units, all 6 units are equally important. First unit is sets, made up of sets, relations and functions, and trigonometric functions. Second unit is algebra. Algebra is vast. We have 6 different chapters in algebra. The first chapter is principle of mathematical induction, then complex numbers, then linear inequalities, then permutation and combination, binomial theorem, sequence and series. And here, as I told you, every chapter is very important. When it comes to a chapter like linear inequalities, in second year PUC, with the knowledge of linear inequalities, you can do graphical problems in chapter called LPP, linear programming problem of second PUC. To understand and to learn, this is the basic. And principle of mathematical induction helps you to understand theorems and proofs. Permutation combination, yes, the mathematical aptitude is here. And permutation combination is having wide scope. So when you want to write banking exam like CAT exam, or when you want to write many entrance exams, so many situations we have to select. For that we'll use combinations. So many situations we have to arrange. For that we'll use permutations. And binomial theorem helps you understanding the expansions like x plus a power n when power is a greater number like 20, 21, and sequence and series. And you have studied in your high school progressions, that is arithmetic progression, geometric progression, all those things will be continued. And this is algebra. And 2 units I told you, sets and functions, and the second unit is algebra. Sets and functions helps you to understand second PUC, and it will become basics for second PUC relations and functions. And functions, special functions like signum functions, greatest integer function is very much required for you to understand differentiability in future. Next, algebra 6 different chapters: principle of mathematical induction, complex numbers, quadratic equations, linear inequalities, permutation combination, binomial theorem, sequence and series. After these 2 units, we have 4 more units, and the next important unit we are going to study is coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry will have 3 different chapters: straight lines, conic sections, introduction to 3D. Understanding straight line is very much required, because in second year PUC, not only in second year PUC, in your physics, in many other subjects, we'll use the terms like normal. In physics, normal means what? A perpendicular line. Normal is perpendicular. And in maths, we'll use tangents in second year. So this is a curve, this is a tangent. Tangent means what? A line which touches the curve at one point. Tangent is a line. Diameter is a line. It's the longest chord passing through the center, but it's a line. Tangent is a line, normal is a line. To understand tangents and normal in future, you should know straight lines. So in coordinate geometry, we have interesting chapter called lines. In lines, we'll be studying different forms of lines. So we'll have 6 different forms of lines: slope-intercept form, point form, 2-point form, normal form. So all the forms are equally important. The slope-intercept form we'll study, point-slope form we'll study, and normal form we'll study. And we'll study parametric equation of straight line also for entrance. And then we'll have conic sections. In conic sections, we'll study parabola, circle, ellipse, hyperbola. And understanding conics helps you to understand integrals and area bounded by integrals using conic sections. Without the knowledge of conic sections, we cannot solve integral problems in 12th. So this is also one of the basic chapters. And introduction to 3 dimension. So 3 dimensional geometry. So till now you have studied 2D, that is point is written in the form of xy, but here we will be learning point in the form of 3 dimensions, x, y, z. We will divide into 3 dimensions, x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So these are the 3 interesting chapters, and coordinate geometry of first year PUC is the essential basic to understand second year PUC coordinate geometry. In second year PUC, we will not have coordinate geometry in more, but we will have 3 dimensional geometry continued, but we will have calculus, tangents and normal. To understand tangent, I told you tangent is a line, so you have to understand lines. And in application of integrals of 12th, we will draw parabola, hyperbola and all. So for that we need conic sections. And introduction to 3D will help you to understand introduction 3-dimensional geometry of 12th. And then we have calculus. In the beginning I told the importance of calculus. So now it's the greatest mathematic tool, because with the knowledge of calculus you can understand many situations. Every situation in physics, electricals and physical chemistry, they build differential equations, that is from calculus. Calculus is the tool which will help you to understand your physics derivations, and also to analyze many situations calculus is required. So very interesting thing, we'll have rate of change. Rate of change means d by dt, we'll say. D by dt in maths we call it as derivative, differentiation with respect to t. But this year we'll study derivatives, that is limits and derivatives. It's a very interesting and important chapter. And understanding derivatives and becoming thorough in derivatives will help you to understand differentiability in second PUC. Then we have mathematical reasoning. It's a new unit, that is mathematical reasoning. It's discrete mathematics. So because here we'll not have calculations more, we'll have statements. It's a new approach of mathematics. So we'll say the statements, we'll see what is a proposition, we'll see what are the connectives and converse, inverse, different approach, that is discrete mathematics. And statistics and probability is the 6th and last unit. And I told you statistics and probability is having wide scope. I told you many people don't know about ISI. What is ISI? Indian Statistical Institute, which offers beautiful course called B-Stats as well as B-Math. Those who love maths, they can opt this, the Bachelor in Mathematics. Then M-Maths, there will be entrance conducted, and for that entrance the portions are first year and second PUC maths. So give more importance. That's why while discussing the textbook for reference, I told you 3 books. One is NCERT textbook, the exemplar, and Vidhyaashram study material. So if you are thorough with the study material, it will also give basics required for all the entrance exams. But any entrance exam, first you should be thorough with the basic level. So statistics and probabilities are also having a wide scope. I told you to join for course like B-Math, which is merit based, you have to write entrance and you should be thorough with all these topics, and it is having wide scope. And not only that, seeing your future, that is in second year PUC also will have probability continued. So we'll have conditional probability and Bayes theorem, etc. in second year. First you should be thorough with the basic probability that we are studying now. So all 6 units, I told you, all are equally important. 6 units. First unit is sets and functions, then algebra, then coordinate geometry, then calculus, then mathematical reasoning, and statistics and probability. All 6 units are equally important. Understanding the subject, practicing it helps you a lot, and gaining knowledge in this will be fuel for your future. That's what I can say. Next, apart from this, weightage and content. See here, every chapter in PU board is allotted with particular marks. Paper setter has to follow the guidelines given by PU board. PU board has given marks distribution chart. We have to follow this. The first chapter sets. The teaching hours also is mentioned, and teaching hour they have specified 8 hours. Yes, if you love to learn more, I am ready to teach more. So don't worry about this. This is a prescribed teaching hour by PU board. So now sets comes for 8 marks, relations and functions for 11 marks, and trigonometric functions for 19 marks. Highest weightage is for trigonometric functions. Means they want to encourage with highest weightage, because once you are thorough with the trigonometry basics, then it will become easy for you to understand inverse trigonometry, ITF, in second year. And not only seeing the marks, become thorough with this chapter is what my suggestion to you. Then principle of mathematical induction, 5 marks. One 5-mark question will be asked. Complex numbers and quadratic equations, 9 marks. Linear inequalities, 7 marks. Again, this 7 marks will be helpful for you to score another 7 marks in the chapter called linear programming problems. In second PUC, you have graphical method of solving LPP. There you need the basics of linear inequalities. If you don't understand linear inequalities and if you don't practice this chapter linear inequalities in first PUC, their graphing becomes difficult. So what I mean to say is every basic for second year is hidden here. So become thorough with linear inequalities. It deals with the graphing of inequalities, and once you are thorough with the graphing of inequalities, it will help you to do 6-mark question, and 7 marks you can gain in linear programming problems of second PUC. Then permutation combination will have 9 marks, and binomial theorem 8 marks. So first 8 chapters, this is a weightage. And next, going ahead, further we have sequence and series, 11 marks, algebra, so and then coordinate geometry, these 3 chapters, that is straight lines 10 marks and conic sections 9 marks. Further, so you can go on, you can observe the chart here. Every chapter is equally important. I told you. Introduction to 3D, we have 7 marks. Limits and derivatives, 15 marks. Again, I can say limits and derivatives is having highest weightage. Don't see the only weightage. Become thorough with this subject, because next year you will have 50%, 40 to 50% of your next year syllabus is calculus, differentiability, application of derivatives, integrals, application of integrals. To understand all these things, the tools are derivatives, and derivatives you are learning this year. So that's why don't see only marks, and they are encouraging you with highest weightage also. So if you are thorough with this limits, this year you can score 15 marks, but that is the fuel for next year. It will also help you to score better. Then mathematical reasoning, short and sweet chapter, 6 total marks is the weightage. Statistics, 7 marks. Statistics is not continued in second PUC, but I told you the subject is having wide scope. Those who love B stats, so show more important for this. B stats, bachelor in stats and master in stats. Those who want to take future statistics, become thorough with the basics of statistics. And probability, 9 marks. And what I want to say is probability continues in second year PUC. So now we are studying probability 1, probability 2 continues in your second year PUC. So this is a weightage chart. Total paper will be set for 150 marks. In the paper 150 marks will be given, but maximum marks allotted is 100 marks. Remaining 50 marks is for choice. Now we'll go to the question paper pattern. The question paper is divided into 5 parts: A, B, C, D, E. 5 parts. Part A is 1 mark questions. Part A is 1 mark questions. Part B 2 markers. Part C 3 mark questions. Part D 5 mark questions. And part E 10 mark questions. 10 mark they'll split as 4 plus 6 or 6 plus 4. How many parts will have? 5 parts. What are they? A, B, C, D, E. A 1 markers. B 2 markers. C 3 markers, and D 5 markers, and E 10 markers. 10 markers they'll have sub question. So 49th question in your question paper will be made up of A, B, 1 for 6 marks, 1 for 4 marks. 50th question A, B. Total 50 questions will be there in the question paper, and question paper is divided into 5 parts, and the 5th part is 10 markers. 10 markers is 6 plus 4. So how many parts? 5 parts. A, B, C, D. A 1 markers, B 2 markers, C 3 markers, D is 5 markers, and E is 10 markers. And a lot of choice will be there in the question paper. So in part A they'll give 10 questions. You should answer all 10, no choice. So 0 extra questions. We don't have any extra questions in part A. So I can say part A is competitive part. Those who want to score centum, this is a challenging part. If you lose a mark, here we don't have any choice. All 10 questions you should answer, mandatory. Then part B, 14 questions they'll give. You should answer only 10 questions among them. Out of 14 questions, you are supposed to answer only 10. 4 extra questions. And part C, again they'll give 14 questions. You should answer only 10 questions. Out of 14, you are answering 10. So 4 extra questions. So in B we have extra questions, in C we have extra questions, and part D, essay questions or long answers we'll say. In part D, long answers, 10 questions they'll give, you should answer 6 questions. And part E, this is also long answers, 2 questions they'll give, you should answer 1. 50% is choice. Out of 2 you should answer only 1 extra. So total 50 questions will be given in the question paper, you should answer only 37 questions, and total scoreable marks is 100. 1 markers 10, 10 ones are 10 marks, 2 markers 10, 20 marks, 3 markers 10, 10 3s are 30, and 5 markers 6 questions you should answer out of 10, 6 5s are 30, and 10 marker 1 question you should answer, that is 49 A, B they'll give in the question paper, any one you should answer, that is 10 marks, total weightage is 100 marks. This is a paper pattern, board paper I have discussed, but what you can observe in this is you have a lot of choice. They'll give 50 questions, you should answer only 37 questions. But there is a great target, those who want to score centum, so you should be thorough with the subject, that they'll make sure with this part, that is part A, without any choice. 10 and 10 you should answer. Part B, out of 14 you should answer 10. Part C, out of 14 you should answer 10. Part D, out of 10 you should answer only 6. Part E, out of 2 you should answer only 1. So this is a paper pattern. Now in my next session I'll be waiting for you people. So take a notebook and start learning. Gear up for my next session. In my next session I'll be starting with the very first unit, interesting unit, that is sets. What I want to say before I conclude the session is simple. Maths, cycling, swimming always comes by practice. So I told you, first you start practicing maths, then you definitely will fall in love with maths. As you fall in love in maths, you'll start sailing with maths and things will become better. Because maths can be done only when you understand. Once you start understanding, definitely you start gaining more and more knowledge and application increases. Without wasting your time, you start, gear up and get ready for my next session. I'll be waiting for you people. What I expect from you is simple: a notebook, a pen, and interest to practice more. I'm repeating, this is the backbone for any technical course. And once you are thorough with the first and second year PUC maths, nobody can stop you understanding things in future, and this is a fuel for future. So maths of 11th and 12th is fuel for future, is my statement. And last but important thing, what I want to say is simple: nobody can stop achieving once you start your first step. The first step is basics. The basics are in first year PUC maths. So as you practice more first year maths, then your strength or your foundation will become more stronger. Get ready for my next session, that is sets, the first chapter of first year PUC. Thanks for attending the session. Thank you.